Files are used to store data permanently in hard disks. In our programming, we need to deal with files very often. The basic file operations are open and close, read and write. Let's start with opening a file. We will use built-in function called open, which returns a file object. F equal to open first.txt, comma w plus. So here the first argument is file name. You can provide absolute file path. Since we didn't provide absolute file path here, it expects or creates the file to be in the current folder. The second one deals with file permissions. W indicates write, and the plus sign is for both read and write operations. Apart from W, there are many other options are available. File modes are available. R for reading the file, W for opening a file for writing. It creates a new file if the given file does not exist. X is only exclusively for creation. A is to append data to end of the file. In case if the file does not exist, it creates a file. T for opening the file in text mode, B for opening in binary mode. Plus sign for both read and write operations. So we will use the write function to post data into the file now. So now f dot write, I'm learning Python \n. This introduces new line character. Now f dot write, I love Python. Now finally f dot close. This will close the file instance. Typo small n. So now it might created the file because first.txt does not really exist. We will look into the current folder ls first. It exists. Vam first.txt. Now whatever data we have written to the file is present here. Now we will append data to the existing file. F equal to open first.txt, comma a plus. Here a for append, and once again you could notice a plus sign here. It indicates that it will create a new file if it does not exist. Now let's write something here. Adding more data and close it. Execute. Let's check the file. So we can see that the new data has been added to the file. Now we will read the file. F equal to open first.txt, and the mode is going to be R. So data equal to f dot read. Read is a method provided by file, and print the data, close the file. When you run this, we can see that whatever data we have written to the file has been read and printed on the console. We can read line by line too. So in that case, I'll just modify dot read line, which gives only one line, And if we want multiples, then we need to write multiple times. When you execute, we can get complete data, 3 lines of data. Another way of reading line by lines, I'll just copy here f dot read lines method, which gives entire data in the list format. Each element is a line. Now we use for loop for L in data print L, and don't forget to close the file. So we are reading line by line data. There is another way also. We can use a for loop to read the file line by line without using read lines method. So f equal to open first.txt comma in read mode for L in F print L f dot close. This way also it works. It keeps data in the buffer, and when you iterate it, you will get line by line here. We can see a couple of examples. So I'm going to have languages as a list: Python, Java, Go. So now we open a file. First.txt in append mode. So now we use write lines. So now we pass the list here. So what exactly happening? The entire list has been returned to the file in one shot. Now we will read it. For L in F print L, and finally close it. So note that we are writing to the file and immediately we are trying to read it, reading the file. I'm running this. Now there is no output. Note that we are not getting anything because the file cursor is at the end of the file. To set the cursor at the beginning, you can use the seek method. So I'm just modifying. After writing, I'm setting the position to 0. Now when I run that, I will get the complete data. I can read the data from the file. It is always standard practice to close a file, but there could be exceptions in between, which may skip close method call. So we can use try and finally block. For example, this is something like this: f equal to open first.txt, and let's say it is in append mode. Now put your file operations inside try. F dot write lines write lines languages, and your logic goes here. So finally, once your business logic is done, you can put your file closing statement under finally f dot close. This is a standard practice to close the file. Even when there were any exceptions, f dot close will never be skipped. There is another way to skip try and finally. It is possible using with statement. So now we can write the above lines like with open first.txt comma in read mode as file print f.read. Notice that we don't have to write f.close method explicitly. That will be automatically called with statement here. When you run that, we are getting complete information here. So that's an advantage with. We don't need to explicitly call f.close here. So hope you understand the basic file operations. Thanks for watching. Please do subscribe to our channel.